It is that time. It is time for a monthly wrap-up. And I have my notebook and my stack of books here so I can show you guys what books I've read. Now, I am currently reading Skyward. I started this a few minutes ago, so I'm like 9 pages in. But this is part of my monthly TBR, which is that little stack right there, if you didn't know. And if you haven't watched it yet, you should go watch my monthly TBR. So, this month I read 12 books and a total of 4,885 pages, and my average rating is very generous. It's 3.93 stars. The first book I read this month was The Sun and the Star by Rick Riordan. This book follows Nico D'Angelo and Will Solis as they travel into Tartarus to find out the source of this voice that Nico has been hearing in his dreams. I rated this a 4 stars. The second book I read is Tokyo Ever After by Miko Jean. This follows Izumi, and she has learned that her father, who she's never met before, is the Crown Prince of Japan. So she travels there, and it follows her just learning to be a princess and just learning all the Japanese traditions. And I rated this 4.25 stars. And the next book I read is also from the library, and that is The Crazy Man by Pamela Porter. And this book is like a poem verse, and it follows a girl, Emmeline, I think, and she's on a farm and she's had an accident, and this one man named Angus comes to work on the farm because her father left. And Angus is from the mental asylum, so it's just about discrimination against him, and it was interesting. I gave it 3.25 stars. And then I read The Udleys by Scott Westerfeld, and this book is about Tally, and she and her friend Shay are Udleys. Basically, in this world, when you're 16, you get the surgery to become a pretty, and it's about that, but Shay doesn't want the surgery, and Tally does. So Shay runs away, and Tally is forced to tell the government where Shay is, and if she doesn't, then she won't get the surgery. She'll be an Udley the rest of her life. So that's really the best description I can give without giving any spoilers, I feel. But I rated this 3.75 stars. And then I read The Magician's Daughter by H.G. Perry, and this is about a girl named Biddy. Bridget is her full name, and she lives on this magical island with her guardian and this like magical rabbit. I think best description I could give it. And one night Rowan doesn't return from his adventures, as he goes off on an adventure every night to the mainland where Biddy has never been. So then he doesn't return until late that morning. So then mates Biddy question where he's really going, and it follows her just learning about that. And I rated this 4 stars. Then I read my only 5-star book this month, and that was Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. And if you somehow don't know what this is about Liz and Wes. And Liz and Wes are neighbors. Basically, they fight a lot, and it's like enemies to lovers, I guess. And it's really cute. It's really, really cute. So I recommend this if you have not read it yet. And I gave this 5 stars. The 7th book I read this month was A Whole New World, part of the Twisted Tales series by Liz Braswell. And this follows, it's basically just what if Aladdin had never found the lamp. And this was good. It's basically just about that, and then them rebelling against Jafar, and it was a fun story. And I did change my rating on this from the Reading Books Until 5-star video, which I have linked in the description. And I changed it from, I think it was 4.25 to 3.5 just after thinking about it and thinking about my rating system. So this was 3.5 stars. And then I read the popular book They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. This follows Mateo and Rufus, and they get a call that they're gonna die in the next 24 hours. So they go on this app called Last Friend, and they find each other and they become friends. So it's about their activities throughout the day. And I thought this was really good. This was 4.75 stars. It was really good. I keep thinking about it. It was so close. And then book I read, it was the new release, Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. And this follows Haymitch's days. So if you don't know who Haymitch is, he's from the original Hunger Games trilogy, and he's their mentor, I think. So this follows his days because everybody wanted it, and what we learned in the original trilogy was really interesting, and we just didn't get a lot of information. So I'm really happy that she wrote this book, and it was really good. It was really sad too. I gave it 4.5 stars. It was good. 4.5 stars. I read this was my lowest rated book. It was Escape from Stalingrad, and it's by Andy Marino, and it's about this city, Stalingrad, which the war has just come to them in the summer of 1942. So it follows Artem and Yuna, and I think it's about them rebelling. I think that's what it's about. I don't remember a lot about this, but I gave this 2.75 stars. Then I read Home of the Brave by Catherine Applegate. This book is about Ket, and he comes from Africa, where he lived with his mother, father, and brother. But there was a war there, so only he and his mother survived. But during this book, he doesn't know where his mother is. So it's poem verses again. And I gave this 3.5 stars. And then I don't really know if this counts, but I'm counting it as a book. And that is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them by J.K. Rowling. And at first I wasn't gonna rate this because it's not even really a novel. It's just explaining the different types of monsters. I did rate this though, and I gave this 3 stars. It was really interesting, and it was funny because Harry and his friends wrote notes in it, so it's they wrote notes along the side in Hogwarts, and it was good, so 3 stars. And those are the 12 books I read this month. And make sure to check out choosing my April TBR so you can see what books I'm planning on reading in April. Thank you guys for watching, and bye!